to the world. Subscribe now to the Hot 97 YouTube channel. It's Ebro in the Morning with Laura Stiles and Rosenberg.
Ebro in the Morning, Laura Stiles, Rosenberg, back on the show. Friend of the show, Swizz Beatz. He's back outside, people. He done produced Volume 2, Mass Appeal. The Hip Hop 50 celebration continues. You put out, what, 7 records?
6 records.
6 records.
6 records, yes.
Nas,
yes.
Wayne,
yes.
Scarlett,
yes.
Jada, Benny the Butcher,
yes.
Who else? Jay Electronica,
yes.
Who else? I'm
A Boogie.
Oh, at the A Boogie joint,
Lil Durk.
Lil Durk. That Lil Durk and A Boogie on the same record. That's right.
Yeah.
How long ago did they come to you with this idea? And with everything that you have going on, that's not music.
Yeah.
Talk about getting back in the zone with the Zaza and the zones.
Zaza. Nas approached me 2 years ago and was like, yo, Mass Appeal might be doing something with this Hip Hop 50th. Would love for you to be a part of it. We doing something with producers. We're probably going to start with Premiere, and then we're going to see what was up from there. So I'm like, all right, well, let's do it. It's Nas. I swear that was the fastest 2 years ever, right? I get the phone call, and they're like, yo, Mo said, you promised Nas, like, you was going to do a Hip Hop 50th project? I was like, yeah. She said, okay, well, you're up now. I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, it felt like 2 weeks. That's how the time be moving so fast. And then so I was like, all right, cool. And the way that it first started off was like, they made it like just grab anything from the hard drive. We just want to have you represent the New York sound for the Hip Hop 50, but just give us some stuff you probably got laying around. And I was like, okay, cool. But then when I started getting into it, I was like, nah, I can't do that. Like at this point in my life, everything got to count. You know, so I just started taking the project serious and just figuring out a way to curate and not just be on a nostalgia vibe because it's the Hip Hop 50th, vibe with Nas, vibe with Durk, vibe with Fabio, vibe with Bandman Drill, and then go back over here and vibe with Jay Electronica at the same time. So I just got into it and was and once I started getting into the studio vibe and just getting back on the drum machine, it came very easy.
Yeah, it's like riding a bike for you.
Yeah.
But
how often are you generally on the machine messing around if you're not working specifically on a project? I'm not. You're not?
Mm-mm. I'm not because I'm moving around so much and I bring my equipment with me everywhere I go. It don't work.
Or you bring it on principle, but then it ends up sitting there.
It just become one extra bag that you just like.
Well, I'm assuming it's hard to focus, right? It's hard to like. I mean, you're in Saudi Arabia. You got congrats on the is it camel racing? That's the proper term.
Yeah. First American camel team ever.
Yeah, y'all won.
Yeah, we got about 22 trophies.
Yeah, so you got camel race. You got the art business that you're in. How many other businesses are you in right now?
A few. You know, but all of the businesses is based around creativity. You know, like I'm not like building a skyscraper.
Right.
You know, like I did the camel racing team to educate people just on different things. Like I just get a kick out of showing people different things, and it started off cool. Now, camel racing it's like the number one thing people talk to me about in America. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, what the heck?
You mean you found a whole community of people who want to bring it up to you and are like excited about camel racing?
Yes, and it's just like, I thought I was just doing something over there that's having fun. And then I'm at the Brooklyn Museum Bowl last night, and people of non-Arabic roots are coming up to me about the camel races. People of non-color are coming up to me about the camel races. People of color are coming up to me about it. I'm like, wow. And it goes to show you that people want to see new things and see different things. I started out as a hobby, and now, you know, my team is top 5. The first team that's outside of the GCC, like the flag, it represents me, and it's kind of ill because
you represent yourself. You're not representing a region. You're just representing Swizz.
Yeah,
Saudi Bronx is what it's called, right?
Saudi Bronx, yes.
What is going on, just entertainment wise in Saudi Arabia right now? You go there often. I just saw it was a Khaled, Fat Joe. What was that concert? Yeah. Beyonce then follows up and opens up a hotel and does a show there. You're there at least once a year.
Nah, once a month.
Once a month. What is going on there in the entertainment space? WWE.
Yep. They're there at the end of May.
The golf thing that had everybody up in arms, where they started the whole thing to compete with the PGA.
Yep.
What's happening there?
Well, I've been telling people about this for a long time. You know, when I first started telling people about the Middle East was probably in 2006 when I was advising the Jumeirah group, when the Berger Arab just went up, the Palms wasn't built. I shot the first video in Dubai at that time, got the air rights for 2 years from Sheikh Mohammed, because what they was doing at that time, it was like Wall Street. You were seeing like a lot of people coming to Dubai with suits and making it only about deals, and I'm just like, man, this is on the water. Like, this should be like Miami. This should be like Vegas. Like, the youth should have access to this. So I shot a video. Little X actually shot the video. And I just put together a presentation of how it could look if the youth and people were just being cool rather than just taking this Western mentality of just going to a dope-ass place like this and just thinking business. And they listen, you know. But I wasn't where I'm at now. Like my strategy in Saudi is totally different.
You did an art installation just a few months ago, some big thing I saw on your Instagram page where y'all put up a big...
Yeah, we did... So where the F1 Formula track is, my company, Good Intentions, we curated the whole promenade. So all of the art pieces that you see, those are permanent pieces that we picked and curated for the F1 track in the Jeddah promenade. And the Falcon is like it's the new monument of Jeddah that we did. That was my first project that I did over there. Since then, I built the skating ring over there. We got a creative school going up over there. We have a art park over there. I'm on the board of many companies. Middle Beast, where you see Khaled, you know, we brought Khaled out there. We've been bringing a lot of artists out there. But not only just bringing them out there to perform, but bringing them out there to get educated as well. So when you seen Khaled on a trip, you seen him go to different places and become of the people and become of the land. And my whole thing is just to show our culture, not to just be transactional. You know, because
I think I think the thing that the awakening for a lot of people, or I hope the awakening is the news we get, the perspective we get here in America on the Middle East and even Africa for that matter, is one where it's always problematic. There's political divisiveness. There's misunderstanding of the culture. There's, a tradition that is, because it's not exactly how it is here in America, people want to say that it's terrible or it's this, that, but that's those people's culture, right? The same way we have problems over here, right, with different things that the world passes judgment on with our problems the same way, but somehow we have this American exceptionalism where our shit don't stink and we're not, and no one else is allowed to have their own shit going on.
It's ridiculous.
So I think that hopefully that's what people are, with what you've been showing and other people going over there. Hopefully it's an awakening for people.
It is, and it's going to continue to be an awakening because it's just two different energies. Like, I feel safer in Saudi than I do in Cali or New York. It's just a different landscape. Like, I remember when people used to tell me when I go to the Middle East to be safe. Now when I'm coming back here, they telling me to be safe.
Yeah, you got to move around L.A.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they like, man, you're going back to America. Please be safe, my brother. I'm just like, yeah.
Does it feel completely safe there?
1,000%.
Well, and it's also, remember, you got a culture of, and I've never been, but just when I go to Ghana, right, the culture is based on love. There's not it's not a materialism competition in the same way. Right, so you don't have like these factions that have been.
There you go.
Like
that part right there.
This divisive thing. We're all here together and we're gonna figure it out together. Here in America, you got these factions that have created this kind of thing since the beginning. We talk about it on air all the time. The whole white supremacy, racism thing creates and it's in the fabric of the nation. Then you layer on top of that the proliferation of guns and just the access.
It's crazy because say like this chain I have on, like in New York or LA, I'm gonna need security. In Saudi, they won't even look at your chain. That's like a women's thing over there. That's not even with guys. Nobody's gonna rob you for your chain. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not on the materialistic energy like that. They'll look at that and they wondering why I got it on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my wife would look good on this, but what you got going on? Right.
Did it ever make you think to yourself, why do I have it on?
Yeah, we just come from different cultures. You know, like jewelry has always been a part of hip hop culture, and that's just how we showed making it. You know, these were our trophies. You know, Rolex, chains. We came from nothing, so this was the easiest way to, you know,
say I accomplished something.
Yeah. That was like raising the flag at that time.
I was at the fight last week. And it was like for some
reason,
bling blow, bro. For some reason, I just started paying attention, you know. And I was just like looking around. I'm like, you see so much jewelry,
it's crazy.
And yet, you know, 75% of the people wearing it, you don't know who they are or what they do, but they're trying to let everyone know they're I got it. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just very interesting when you actually start.
It's crazy
paying attention to it.
It's crazy.
Swizz, hang out for a minute. I want to get into this Hip Hop 50 Volume 2. Y'all could get it, of course, on Apple Music. I want to play the joint with Jada, Benny, and Scarlett. I want to come back to talk about this young lady, Scarlett.
Hit me right now.
Who? Oh, her, Scarlett.
Yeah,
I never met her before, but I'm definitely intrigued. A young New York artist doing some amazing things.
Bronx.
Yeah, from the Bronx. You being from the Bronx, coming up as a DJ first.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you and DMX came up together, and then the Ruff Ryders thing and that whole thing. Talk about, just because we're talking about Hip Hop 50, talk about what you saw. Do you remember the first kind of like hip hop moment you saw as a kid in the Bronx? You was like, I need to be in that.
Yeah, it was in Jackson Avenue, St. Mary projects. We would go to the back park, and they used to have the basketball competitions. And then I just remember like, the DJ was just on fire. And I remember at that time he was playing It's Yours and
Tila
Rock, It's Yours. And then it was playing Roxanne, and then they was playing KRS-One, Scott La Rock music for sure. But I remember when the South Bronx came out, I knew like what we do now and what was happening then was very special. And when we did the KRS-One versus Kane, like I had the BDP jacket on, and Kane came up to me and was like, "Yo, like you supposed to be Don King in the fight. You can't pick
sides.
You can't pick the sides." So it's like, God damn. I said, Kane, I apologize, but you got to understand, like KRS-One, I felt like he gave me my last name. Like when I heard the song South Bronx, I felt like I belonged to something. Like that was like the national anthem to us. And although I got a strong last name, but the South Bronx became my other last name, which is even why now, while I'm in Saudi, my company is Saudi Bronx, because it just we didn't really have no identity. We just was in the mix, just doing things. But KRS-One was like, nah, the South Bronx, like this is where you're from. And so that's where it all started for me. And that's why even on the Jada, Scarlett, Benny Boom, I go back to the Bridges Over beat. You know, that's where I got the boom bap from, because that pocket just resonated with me coming from nothing into traveling the world. You know, like the reason why people know me in different countries is because of that song.
Was the Verzuz, and I was at that Verzuz.
I was on deck.
Yeah, I was so excited for that.
Deckington.
Was that the first time you got to really spend time with KRS?
No, I had dinner with KRS-One at my house. Like I needed to spend like real time with him and his wife, and you know, me, his wife, and AK like sat down and broke real bread because, you know, I didn't feel that we should wait till it's too late. And then you like, damn, like I never even like sat down and really like showed Chris his proper respect. We got about 6 songs together we did, which was on my bucket list. We got
I've been begging Swizz Beatz to give me them records, man.
Yeah, we got them.
I'm
in mode now though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm in.
You think the ones you played for me could come out? Them KRS Swizz Beatz joints?
They could. They fire. You heard them,
bruh.
You heard them.
Oh, wow. I need to hear these.
Yeah, you do.
So wait, so you hosted Simone and KRS at the crib. Yeah. That must have been such a cool thing for childhood. I mean, you've experienced a lot of cool things, but I was
blown away. I'm sitting at the table, cool as hell, kicking my wife on the table like, you see this? She's like, yes. It
and
was
Alicia
just,
too, because she's so hip hop.
Yeah, she's a big girl. She's like, she must have been.
she's hip hop. Like her and her friend used to be Ray and Ghost.
That was their thing that they would do?
Yeah, they was. She was Ray. Her friend was Ghost. Like she could recite more lyrics than like a lot of people. Like, I don't even know this version of the song. Like, where do you know this?
Yo, could you believe? I mean, yes, you could, but like, I was taken aback by how great a performer KRS is to this day. He just has a presence that there's almost no one active still who has that KRS presence.
Because he feel he's the best. And he come from that era where you had to be who you said you are. You understand? So like, even when we came up, you had to be who you said you was. And I was talking to Beanie last night about this because I just remember us traveling to go to the smoke and people traveling to us to come to the smoke. And you had to go to these, you heard about a person in the streets before you heard them on Hot 97 or on anything. The street credibility of them handling their business was from Philly to Baltimore to Atlanta, DC, back here in New York. Like, it was a circuit that you were going and you checked that box and people already knew about you. Like, yo, this kid burnt down everything. And I even, me and even DMX, like, we ran through the whole Bronx. Like, that's how we was eating. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was crazy.
So, the young lady that's on the Jada Benny the Butcher record, her name is Scarlett. She's also from the Bronx. She got a movement.
Yeah.
She got a record. This is New York. Get the fuck back, move the fuck back, which is heavily Onyx. But then she's got DMX ad libs kind of in there, and then at the end of the record, I think she shouts DMX.
Yeah.
What is now? She been putting out records since 2019, I think.
Yeah, 2019.
I went and looked on things, and she's her range as an artist.
There you go. You got it.
Is crazy.
You got it.
From everything that she's lived through.
Yes.
To even, like, this record isn't even as dynamic as she actually is as a writer.
Yeah, he's still good.
He's still
good. He pays attention.
I'll be paying attention.
He's still good.
And so I was really intrigued about the other stuff where she was talking about being abused and how she got the scar on her lip and being left and, you know what I mean, being in foster care and just all of the things. Did you hear this record first or did you meet her first?
I heard the record first and I was just like, because everybody was hitting me because of DMX energy. And I was just like, okay, I like it. I see where she going with it. But then the same thing. I went and did my homework. I'm like, wait a minute. She could do Get At Me, Dog, and Love Is Blind?
That's right.
That's dangerous. And then I just started following up and then seeing her story and then it making sense that she's a poet first, how she could talk about beauty and this and that. I'm like, whoa.
Complexionism and beauty and like all of that.
She performed with me at the Brooklyn Museum last night. Like, and I was going to have her do one of those poetic vibes, and I was just like, nah, let her just stick to the energy that she got everybody with, because when she get to that other stuff, it's I haven't seen that diversity in a minute lyrically, from an artist, period, let alone a female artist. And the females are killing it right now.
Well, and then she's got the lived experience. Right? She's got the, unfortunately, and it's one of those bittersweet moments where, you meet someone and you're like, yo, you've been through some fucking shit.
Yeah, man.
But you're able to take it and channel it into something
like
that
X.
hopefully is going to be life-changing.
Like X.
That's a good way to put it.
Exactly like X.
But she's super sweet as a person. Like, she's not taking those things that she's been through and making everybody pay for it. She gonna make you pay for it with her music, but her energy, like she came to the studio with Busta and gave him a teddy bear. We was on set shooting, she just smiling, laughing, and it's just like, yo, like,
she still got that light inside. The world hasn't made her
light.
Dark. Yeah.
And that's what I was attracted to the light. I was like, yo, I'm executive producing the project is on. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so she's independent. She's not even on I seen her at TuneCore. She was up there at TuneCore with Papoose.
Yeah,
really?
she making her rounds. A lot of people were at the table. And for me, like, everybody think that she signed to me. Like, I don't need to sign an artist to support them. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you supporting somebody, that don't mean you need to own them. Like, me personally, I don't want that role. The role that I want is like,
Music supervisor.
Music supervise, give good guidance, use my expertise, and make the best decision, and then you go do your thing. You know, like, because once again, it gets to that transactional thing.
Why do you, and with, not to get in your pockets, but you live in Iron Man's house, for God's sake. What is Swizz stand?
Roseburg's not joking. He
lives in Iron
Man's
house. What does Swizz stand to gain? Like, yeah, you're just doing this to do it. Like, being a part of someone's project, you get a little percentage of it, great. But like, you getting to be a part culturally of the music is what I imagine holds value for you at this stage in your life.
I love that part, and I love that I'm inspired by her, and you know, for me, it's just like I just don't want to go in that deep.
Right, where you're responsible for someone's whole career.
Because I know I'm not all the way there. Like, I know I'm like,
you're 50
I'm on a plane tonight.
Yeah.
You see
Bro,
what I'm saying?
that's so honest of you and kind, because a lot of people still want to be in enough to say, I'm going to help out, and they reach out the hand, but then they're not there for the person in the way that they need them, and it ends up not being helpful.
I speak to her every day. I'm definitely there, but I just don't, because I could have put somebody else on the project and signed. I got a very capable team that can, you know, from Grady to Mo to, but I just like, I don't think that if we really gonna help a person, like, I don't think we need to own it all the time. Like, it's just something about that that's like, okay, I'm a part of that, own that, blah, 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 blah. Okay, you captured another fish or something. Like, it's just like, treat it like that.
Right.
You know, like, just genuinely help somebody and genuinely, like, don't really want too much from it, but that person to win and be great. Like, I've had an amazing run. I'm from the Bronx, and I always wanted to, like, do something with an artist from the Bronx. And this has just been, like, the perfect opportunity. She respect the legacy and inspired by the dog. And I knew it was real when Desiree X's fiance called me telling me I needed to, like, check on her. That's when I was like, all right.
That's
all right. It's over. You know what I'm saying? And she working hard. Like, she's not getting no sleep.
That's dope,
and I don't feel sorry for her either.
That's the game, man.
I don't feel sorry. I don't sleep. I don't sleep.
You still don't sleep?
No, I don't sleep.
Come on, man, at all? Like, how much you get in a night?
I don't know. I don't sleep.
Nah, man, you gotta sleep, bro.
I'm saying, like, if I'm working, if I'm working, I'm not sleep. If I'm on vacation, I'm on chill mode, I sleep. You know what I'm saying? I sleep on planes, but that's not real sleep. That's recycled air.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You need that real sleep.
Like,
You gotta sleep, man.
Like, I got 2 hours. I got 2 hours last night.
Yeah, I mean, you in your whole New York.
That's what I was saying.
Right, you're in promo mode.
She's in promo mode.
Yeah, but we gotta encourage sleep.
We're very big on sleep.
On sleep here.
Trust me, my wife is big on sleep. Me sleeping.
That's right.
Really? Good for her.
Yeah, she don't play that.
Alicia, thank you.
She don't play
Alicia
that.
knows what's up.
Swizz, on this album with your joint with Nas, I thought it was super dope because, you know, Nas has talked about everything, right? But he did open up about fatherhood, about the sacrifices he made and not being there for his firstborn, for his daughter.
It's a true story.
And that to me, I was like, wow. Like, I feel like it caught a lot of people because it's a story of a lot of parents who are hustling and trying to make ends meet, you know, sacrificing time to be with their children.
And he says
to
on
work.
the song, the money was there, but the time wasn't there.
I swear, it's so true. I can say that I went through the same thing with my oldest son. And you know, when you're young, you're successful, you thinking money is curing everything. And those materialistic things don't matter to the kids. That's one thing I could tell you. I don't care how happy it is when they get it at that moment. They'll spin the block on you and be like, and you'll say all these different things and be like, yeah, but, you know, remember when you didn't come to my game? And da-da-da, they know how to hit you too. I'll be like, God damn, why about you had the biggest Sweet 16 in the goddamn country.
You wasn't at the game.
They don't care. You wasn't at the game. Right? And so now I've learned so much that I'm still making up that time with my oldest son today.
How old's your oldest?
22.
22.
Yeah.
So wow, that's like, you were out there.
Yeah.
Rough Rider tours and everything.
Yeah.
And I swore he was being taken care of because I was financially taking care of him his whole life. But
now that you're hands-on as a parent, do you look back at that time and just wonder, like, how the hell did it even all get done? It's so much to do to take care of kids.
It's an underestimated. They make that parenthood seem easy. It's a lifetime job. I got 5 kids. That's a lifetime job that you can't get away. I don't care. You can't escape that one. Like, because those kids, they're very special. But then we also learn from I learn from my kids every day. You understand? So I'm not only, we got to fall back sometimes because we feel that because we have the age on them that only what we say go.
Right.
That's not a healthy relationship. So when my kids come to me, I sit back and we have like real talk, and I'll just be quiet, and then I'll talk and have real conversation because we'll throw so many things under the bus, and then they'll close up on us, and then come spin the block on you 10 years later, and be like, you know why I never did this, and you know why? Because when I was trying to tell you, you ignored me. So this is the cause of that, and they were like, what? Nah, they trick you with it, man. But it's been a learning experience, and I feel that now I'm more with my kids than my friends, right? Because we was trained to be with our homies, and all that time we missing with our kids. It's like, nah, I see them. I'm taking them. Oh, I'm gonna take them to the movies. I'm gonna take them to Toys R Us. That's like your time with your kids. But you spending like months with your guys. I'm not doing that no more.
That's good, man. I mean, I'm lucky I had my daughter later in life. You know, she's only 8. Issa's 8. So, man, I make as much time every week. I look at it every week.
Yeah.
Like, literally, I'm like, yo, this is Issa's time. This is Issa's time, trying to make time in the week. That's not even getting to the vacations and the other things and things you got to do. You know what I mean? I'm honored, and I'm glad you're at that point. You know what I'm saying? To have because think about it. It really, to be in a space where you know that you can hand to your children something that can sustain them, right? That they will be able to have a level of freedom that you didn't have because they don't have to worry about certain bills, right? Mm-hmm. To get to that point and then be like, nah, we're good. I can actually spend time with my family and children. I don't have to stress about where the next is coming from. That is such a privilege.
Yeah. Yep.
Because there's someone right now listening to this conversation, their kids live in the house. Mm-hmm. And they haven't seen their kids.
Yeah.
And they live in the same house.
No, they're out right now. They're driving around doing their job, listening to the interview, and not able to be home.
Right.
Spending time with their kids.
Because they're working 2 and 3 jobs. and they wake their kid up in the morning, they get their kid off to school, they back to you know how many people they work 2 jobs a day, bro?
Yeah, man.
Putting up 18 hours a day.
Yeah.
Numbers on the board.
No, it's crazy. Swizz, the record with Nas, let's play that joint. And do you like everything I mean, you don't spend a lot of time in New York. You're here a few times a year, but when you're here, you're here. Mm-hmm. Have you spent time listening to the music that's coming out of the city recently, and how you feel about it?
I like it. I like that. I like that we catching the flow now. I like that there's songs on the radio now that can make you feel like you're in New York, although it's from the new artists. Because I remember coming here and feeling like I was in Atlanta, and I just really had a problem with that. I was like, man, like imagine going back home, but you're not home.
Right.
Like there's no DNA trace of what everybody else was inspired from. There's no existence of that on the radio.
That's a great way of putting it. Now you can hear the DNA. You can still hear New York in the DNA right now.
Yes, and I really appreciate how you guys been curating that, how Flex been curating that, and you know it's going to take.
It took time to get it back right and get the records right.
Facts, because like what was happening was people from here wasn't being inspired. So you're not finding the Scarlips and the this ones and that ones
Lola
like
Brooke and
Lola
the Ice
Brooks,
Spice.
Ice Spice, like they not. Everybody feel that they got a chance now, so it's gonna be easier to find music and break music and keep the town hot because that's what they're doing in those other places. So the balance is good.
Well, and I just thought about this as you were saying. Also, we had New York artists over the last 5 to 8 years, but a lot of it was gangbanging shit that led to people having serious problems.
Or there was one hit and done.
One hit and done, and then whereas a lot of the people right now we're talking about, they're artists. They're choosing to like pursue artistry.
Right.
It's not just a means to an end. Right. It's trying to.
And there's been some people in between that look, even when you look at like the ASAP Rockies and the ASAP Fergs, and then you get into the A Boogies and obviously the great Nicki Minaj. You know what I mean?
But now you're going back. That's going back.
That's 2009.
10 to 15 years for those cats.
Right.
Too. Swizz, when we've been having a lot of hip hop 50 talk and talking greatest songs of all time.
Oh, damn.
You gotta preface it. We did something really dumb, and I'm saying we because you're here and we're a family, but really it was him. Decided to do the greatest 50 hip hop songs of all time. Only 50 records.
Okay.
And every
it's a ridiculous undertaking, but we're trying.
So every week,
that can never go right.
Yeah, we know.
Okay.
We know people are gonna be mad, but I'm honestly at this moment I think we're at week 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's records on there that we're proud of that are like, oh, okay. No, this has to be there. There's some other ones we got some problems with, but
I do think we should address that, by the way. I do think maybe at the end we should do a thing where we talk about a vote. We all vote on a few. We pick a few songs. We all pick a song and re-vote to see if we think it should be in.
But at any rate, each of us brings in 2 songs a week. So each week we submit 10 songs.
Uh-huh.
And then it goes on the website on hot97.com/top50, and then the audience votes. And the 2 highest vote getters get on the list.
Now, what's the criteria for greatest songs of all time?
Ebro, you write it down?
Yeah, it's on the website.
It's on the website.
And we put the criteria on the website.
We came up with the criteria that we thought was somewhat representative.
Let me get to it right here.
I know longevity is one of them.
So is the record still playing right now? Does it still mean something right now today? Is one of the criteria.
Like if you dropped it at Summer Jam.
Yeah.
There you go. Great. It's a quality of song. Do you listen beyond the first verse or to completion? Because there's a lot of records that we've loved that it's like, it's a moment.
We know when to stop.
Yeah, but you know when to stop.
Exactly.
Right.
Does it have sustained cultural relevance? Does the song stand the test of time, which we just said?
Generations.
Right, there you go. Impact. How influential was the track during the time of release?
Do you remember where you was at? Do you remember what you had on?
Yeah, there you go. He gets it.
And then the last one was, it can't be a novelty. It cannot be an Ice Ice Baby. It can't be a Can't Touch This. It can't be one of these goofy kind of poppy. It can't just be like a novelty song that the culture would be like, yeah, we know everybody like this song, but yeah, nah.
That's why you're going to get you summertime to get in, but parents just don't understand is not going to get in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Summertime could get submitted.
Yes, and I think should get in. But
summertime is on that list.
Summertime's got to be on that list,
right?
On
that list.
Some of the records on there right now are Wu-Tang Triumph, Children's Story Slick Rick.
Shook Ones.
Shook Ones made it.
Yeah.
Lottie Dottie.
Lottie Dottie made it. Notorious B.I.G. both Juicy and One More Chance made it.
Stop Drop made it.
Not there yet. Hasn't been brought up yet.
We haven't got to that era yet.
Oh, you're doing eras.
And then we broke it up in eras. So we're 79 to 85, 86 to
90,
91 to 95, 96 to 01, and then we did 01 to 08, and then...
So there's criteria.
Oh, y'all doing a case study.
It's okay. It's somewhat. Would you think? So Swizz, if you were to and I know you're a modest person, so you might not suggest anything. But if someone were to force you to choose one of your productions to make it, would you think Ruff Ryders Anthem?
1,000%.
That's the one.
1,000%.
Because it meant the most.
It meant the most, and it just changed the trajectory of what was happening at that time. And it just created a whole new lane globally. To where X was able to perform at Woodstock with damn near 1 million people in front of him. And
were you there for that?
I was in the studio.
Okay. Damn. It was hot as hell. It was really hot.
I remember the whole thing. X is like, what the hell? The Woodstock, what? And it's like, nah, you have to do this. Because he was crossing over the rock people liked him. Yeah. All of that slam dancing and all that stuff. It
was a perfect fit. When you go back and look at it, you're like, oh.
It's fire.
It was unbelievable. And that changed his life too. So when Stop Drop came on, it was just good night.
Do you always call it Stop Drop?
Mm-hmm.
Do you never call it Ruff Ryders Anthem?
I never called it that for some reason.
That's so interesting. Really?
Yeah.
What did you name it at the time?
Stop Drop.
You called it Stop.
How did it become Ruff Ryders Anthem?
We just decided that, D and Wild decided that Ruff Ryders Anthem was the anthem of the whole brand. Because it just, no. So it was like an anthem, like the chant probably made it that. But for some reason, I'm just now noticing right now
that you only call it
that
Stop
I only
Drop.
call it Stop. I never called it Ruff Ryders Anthem.
So would you would
crazy.
any other ones? Are there any others that you would think could be worthy of the conversation?
DMX or just
No,
like,
you.
or me?
Swizz Productions.
A lot of them.
I get a lot of heat for one that I picked. That's a Swizz production.
Which one is that?
Yes. So this is
What a
probably the
cheat.
one,
What a
okay, that they
I'm
want
glad she's doing it.
to
I'm
that
glad
they
she's
that they
doing
want to
it.
vote out. But it was a category about women, and I thought it was important that we don't always keep it so old
It was
school.
It was International Women's Day.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So we did all women.
So
Eve obviously was in there.
yeah, and
In this particular,
And we submitted 10 records from
Yes.
women for the greatest 50 hip hop songs.
and we
of all
don't tell each other
Got
what
it.
we submit, but we just pick. And I was like, and to me, I'm like, I can't. Of course, I picked Kim, right? I wanted hardcore, whatever I want.
facts.
Then I chose Nicki Minaj's Roman's Revenge because I think that record is fucking fire. And she went toe to toe with Eminem and sounded incredible. And they always kick my ass about it and they feel like it's trash.
Not they. I didn't have a
Don't
problem
escape.
with Eve.
Don't
I didn't
escape.
I never, there's no,
Don't
I never had a
escape.
problem
Thank
with that Eve record. Matter
No,
of
not
fact,
Eve. I'm
Which
talking
one
about
you
Nicki
talking
Minaj.
Roman's Revenge.
Oh, Roman's Revenge. No, that's not the Nicki record. Sorry.
And to me, at that point, I was like, I picked Nicki Minaj, and it won. It got the barbs
it's in.
came in
Roman's
and they
Revenge.
voted. So for that
I'm
round,
not disagreeing though.
it was
And
Nicki
I'm not-
Minaj and Lil Kim. Which one of her songs made it?
I got a Big Mama thing.
Okay, Big Mama Thing, which was an original pick of mine too.
You know, Roman's Revenge is really a serious record, bro.
It is.
And I slept on Roman's Revenge until I seen 50,000 people. I forgot where I was at.
Saying all the lyrics.
Yes. And then the plaques backed it up as well. I was like, we never even shot a video for this song. It's just one of them songs that, like, other than Eminem being on it, Nicki just was on a whole nother energy, and the people connected to it.
Well, because she's spitting
I'm
crazy
saying?
on it.
No,
You can't
listen,
deny how she's
and,
spitting on it.
and let me just say, I don't think you picked the record that was not deserving in terms of the raps. It's definitely among her best rap songs. I'll put that and Chun-Li among my favorite of her like rap songs. I think for me and Ebro, what we were fighting against was we didn't think the name,
but
it didn't have the cachet that felt like a top 50
I'm also a fan
name-wise.
of Did It on Bees in the Trap. Like there's other records where she's spazzing to me that I just have always liked those records
But
better.
to me, she was up against Eminem,
And she
and
helped.
she
You're right.
shined.
It won.
bro. And
No,
she
listen,
shined.
you're right.
we may yank it
I
off,
am
but
not
it won for
Jasmine,
now.
I am Aladdin. Like, I was like, okay. I did the beat like right in front of her, like 15 minutes. And I never knew Eminem was on the song until the album came out.
That's wild. Is that your only Eminem feature?
I might have one more laying around, but that was like the more prominent one, yes.
So you must have. That's always exciting news when you find out that somebody would have got Eminem and
That's
put him on it.
crazy.
I just was like, what? Eminem's on the record? Yeah, it was top secret, Swizzy. But it's us.
When you
I was cool with it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
of your old records, are there any of the original batch that blew up that when you hear, you're like that like yes, people love that song, but I don't even know what I was doing when I made that song because you were so young when you made that original batch.
I didn't know what I was doing on none of the songs. I was just in a trance. I was just in a zone. You know, like I was just hungry. I didn't even know I could make money from music when I was doing it. I just was happy to be around the team. I was happy to be at the tunnel, going to the shows, traveling. That alone was like, I was fulfilled. And I remember sitting on 125th Street in front of the Mart when Ruff Ryders Anthem came out. Nobody knew who I was. I'm sitting on the fire hydrant, every single car playing the anthem. And I sat there from like 12 to like 12. Sat there from like 12 to 12, and everybody just kept playing the song. And I'm sitting there like, oh, this is a little different. And I just took it in, and then I remember them telling me that Leo Cohen, they started hitting with all these funny names at the time. Like, imagine how Leo Cohen sound.
Right.
Leo Cohen sound like when you're from the grit Right?
17
I
years
haven't
old.
spoke to no corporate people at the time, and all these names wanted to sit down and talk, and I didn't know what none of it meant. I didn't even care. I didn't even want to go to no meetings. I just wanted to get back to the studio and just continue that feeling that I was feeling sitting on that fire hydrant. I cared about that to continue. So that's why we spent right around into another DMX album, right? Because
2 in the same year, yeah.
Yeah. It was, I'm still not over none of that, by the way, today.
What do you mean not over it?
Like I'm not over my first records. Like I'm not, like when I hear them, I still bug out like, yo, like I did that. Like I'm not, you know how people, they just over things? Like I'm not over none of my stuff. Because I feel
it was a bunch. It was What You Want, Eve, and it was Jay-Z, Jigga, and it was Got a Man, Eve, follow up.
Well, I got about 620 records to pick from when it comes to my catalog. So good luck with that.
Well, but in that first batch,
That
though.
first
Yeah,
batch,
the first
though.
batch.
What You
Banned
Want
from
was
TV.
Oh, Banned from
Banned
TV
from
was in the batch
TV.
too. Yeah.
Banned from TV. Tear the Roof Off. Busta. Tear the Roof Off at that moment was definitely
That was big.
that was crazy. I did flip mode Run for Cover before that. And then we just got into some heavy Hove. If I Should Die. Man, it's so much stuff.
It was a lot, man.
It's so much stuff.
And they rang. That's when I was first getting into radio. The amount that we were playing, like Eve, What You Want, was a gigantic record.
Yeah, and I remember we had like another record that was a hard record. So I set it up. I said, look, we're going to know how to produce Eve based off of the compilation. So we need to give her 2 tracks. One track, she's just straight spitting, and the other track is What Y'all Want. We obviously know which one was the winner,
right,
and which way to go. And then that opened up the lane for her to do Got a Man and all these other records. And it reminds me of like even Scarlett, of how she could talk about a very sensitive topic, but then have the energy and fun as well. And so when I seen that DNA in her, I was like, she got a great chance. You know what I'm saying? She got a great chance.
Oh,
How you
Pina
feel
Colada?
about Party Up? Let's be honest. Let's have honest talk about Party Up, that record.
I think it's corny.
I'm glad I'm on the right page.
I do.
Now, tell me why.
Because like at that time it was just like, it was like pressure to beat the last record. You know what I'm saying? Like it was almost like, yo, make a hit. You know, like when they're like, yo, we need a hit. Right. So I was like, all right, cool. And I always wanted to do the Party Up style beat, because people don't know, like, dan 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 dan, like that's Soul Man.
Right.
Like, so I took that, I'm a soul man. For some reason, that melody was in my head, and I was playing out on the keyboard, and it just had the energy, and I don't know, it just felt like the record was too curated, and you could tell X ain't want to do it. All you gotta do is listen to the lyrics. Like it's it's the most disrespectful DMX song ever.
Yeah,
I mean,
so part of it, I always say I never liked it, but part of the funny for me is when I hear the record, I'm like, yo, this is the craziest pop record, arguably ever.
It's one of the biggest hip hop pop records. Yeah, I mean,
No, I mean crazy in the sense of what he's saying in the
no,
song.
how filthy it is.
Yeah.
No, I played it at the Brooklyn Museum last night, and I cut it. Like I didn't even I got to the first verse, and I remember how crazy the record is, and I switched it. I was like, oh, no, we not doing this tonight. If your man ever been to jail before, side to side. I'm like, what the? Like, but that was X's way of showing you he didn't want to do something.
He would just be outlandish.
He'd just say the wildest, okay, well, here go your hit.
Although 1, 2, Meet Me Outside is the best part of the record, I'd say.
1, 2, yeah, Meet Me Outside.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a good
hard.
break,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I'll tell you this: when you hear DJs play, when DJs used to blend the record in the mix and blend the instrumental in,
Yeah, but
I'd always enjoy the instrumental. And then once you put it together with the chorus, the "Y'all Gonna Make Me Lose My Mind," it's just that's when it hits
but
the
let me tell
real.
you, it's a stadium record though.
Oh,
What?
Super.
It's It's Superman.
No, it's never going away.
It's never going away.
No, you're stuck with it for life.
Like the whole Brooklyn Museum last night was the roof was shaking.
Yo, 70-year-old grandmothers, bro, of all races sing that song.
The licensing from that record is I've never seen nothing like it. You
get movie trailers.
It's like every week, like it's crazy. Like since we did that record is
your mailbox.
That's probably my biggest.
Crazy,
that's probably
right?
my biggest record.
That's your biggest publishing record, probably still to this day. Right?
And hip hop is that record.
What about outside of hip hop? Beyonce. Beyonce's.
The Beyonces. It's a couple, man. It's a lot of them.
You know how you enter my ears very often when I'm in terms of Swizz music that I hear is, and we never talk about it. One hand in the air if you don't really care. I hear your voice that way a lot. Like when I go through my phases of not listening to Kanye, the first way I come back is with So Appalled. I'm like, I can't not listen to So Appalled. I
love that record.
That record's incredible.
I love that record. I just don't understand why Ye muted. He didn't change the mute. I was just
what's
like,
the mute? What's that for? Why does?
I have no idea. I asked him 1,000 times, and he'd be like, "Oh, I don't know. What are you talking about, man? Like it's muted. Like,
where is the mute again? Is it the end?
It's like in the middle of me saying the one hand. It does like that thing. It drives. I'm a Virgo, that drives me crazy. Even today when I hear it, I kind of like close my ears like when it gets to that part. I'm like, God damn, yeah, where do you do that?
Were you in Hawaii for that? You did that part on your own?
We did that in New York.
And were you by yourself? You weren't with RZA. Everyone was separate?
Yeah, I was with Ye when I did it though.
Okay, you were just with Ye.
We was doing Good Fridays, I believe, at that time. Electric Lady. I think Mos Def was there. A couple people. We was having a good time with that at that time.
And with something like that, because the original version of that song didn't have your part where you started with no beat. It starts with just the beat was playing and Kanye's rapping. Do you like improvise something like that? Does he give you did you guys work through it together where he has a suggestion, or you just heard it and said one hand in the air when you heard it?
I just felt it. It just felt like, I don't know, it just made me just feel ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? It just
fucking ridiculous.
It just made me feel fucking ridiculous. I just one hand in the air if you don't really care, middle finger. Cause I just know what he was going, what he was talking about, and so I just fed off of the energy and the cockiness of what he was saying on that record at that time.
And then you think about it that it's Swizz, RZA, and Kanye all on the same record. Like, remove everything. 3 of the greatest hip hop producers of all time.
Damn, I'm happy to be on that list.
Vocally,
you didn't know you was on that list? Stop it.
You've had a good run, man.
I'm happy. I said I'm happy to be on
that.
Until
he flips that switch and becomes Swizz Beatz again. Right now, he's being, Well,
guess what? That switch is flipped. I promise you, they're about to get, like, the Hip Hop 50 was a great intro back into the streets, and now I got about 5 lined up.
Because you were in that mode already of working.
Yeah, and it's just like, why start the engine and put all this time and do all of this, even what we doing right here, just to like disappear again? Like give them a run. So I'm very active in the producing space right now, and we doing artists that started early, and we doing artists that's today. And we doing undiscovered artists as well. You know what I'm saying? New artists like Scarlett and Lola and all those artists. We doing everything. Like I'm ready to
cook.
I'm ready to cook. Like I'm ready to burn the kitchen up musically. You understand? Because I don't know. Like I just know I could offer something that's not there. You know what I'm saying? I know I could offer. I could bring some things to the table, because I usually give them all away. Like, but now I'm more so wanting to curate those experiences, because I'm seeing where people are tapping out. Like I see where they tapping out with the beats. I see where they tapping out with the concepts. And
you see the laziness is what you're saying.
Yes, man. And it's. I understand why they're lazy, because it's taking no efforts for it to work, because it's already in the algorithm. It's already moving this way. People are already accustomed to the sound. But in order for the longevity, you got to disrupt the sound. Like whoever disrupt the sound, that's 10 years out the gate. And I just feel like, being a a student and a teacher in hip hop. It's my job to come in and disrupt the sound with these artists. I mentor mostly all of them. We got great relationships. We never talk about music, but then I'm like, well, why are we not talking about music?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm ready to talk about all music.
When I got up here, when I first got to Hot 97 in 2007, I remember my first day when I came in on Miss Jones' show to like whatever. That in that period, It's Me Snitches was on this station so much. And then the remix.
The Lil Wayne remix is
What?
crazy.
That was
I bet why.
You must remember how much that was on the radio.
Was that your first? That was your first time working with Wayne at that moment, right? It's Me Snitches.
I think so. No. I think Dr. Carter.
No, this was before Dr.
This is
Carter.
before Dr. Carter?
Yep. Dr. Carter's like a year and a half later.
You might be right, bro.
I mean, maybe you made Dr. Carter first, but it certainly came out later. Damn, I forgot you did Dr. Carter.
Wait, you started in 07? Yeah. So your first Summer Jam was Swizz and Kanye.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
That started Verzuz.
Yeah.
Yeah, you started. That's when you father Verzuz right
original
there.
Verzuz.
I mean,
I won Summer Jam that year, too. That was...
Yeah, nah, y'all went crazy. You can go find that on YouTube. And speaking of Verzuz, I read somewhere...
Ebro started Verzuz.
Exactly.
Me and his phone right here.
Yeah, Ebro with the...
Just Blaze versus Swizz
Ebro
Beatz.
with the Titanic arm.
Yeah, I don't know how he did it. How long
I held
was
that phone for
2
hours, bro, catching that whole
Oh, my
shit.
God.
Were you plugged in?
No. Well, at a certain point, I plugged in to keep it going. But yeah, Swizz just called me one night and was like, yo, y'all have been talking, you and Just Blaze have been talking shit on the internet, right? Or something on Instagram or...
Yeah, he wanted to go, like, because I just kept seeing him say stuff. I'm like, what made him say that? And I'm just like... And then... I was going and I seen him and I was with AK, and then AK said, "Oh, what's up?" And he said to AK, he said, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna burn your man up." I said,
Just talking crazy.
"Okay, I know what he want. Let's do it."
And that was that night that you called me and was like, "Yo, we about to do it."
Yeah.
I literally dropped everything I was doing.
It was on right then, and I said, "All right, well, let's go now." I didn't have nothing prepared, nothing. I'm not gonna lie, my man, he
was ready for you.
He had a set, like he created a Kill Swizz.
Oh, he'd been
set.
thinking about it.
Yeah.
You understand? And that's why I was going a little hard on him when he was having his asthma attack during the verses, because of that one little sentence that he said to AK. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm very competitive. And I just think he could have played better records.
Now, it was the beginning of Verzuz. It was a great night. Shout to everybody that was there. I don't even know where that video is.
Hold on,
is the video still on YouTube?
It is, but I gotta be careful with this stuff.
There you go.
Because I'm good with Just and
Well, he's
everything.
family,
Like,
of course.
no, I know, but like sometimes I got to be conscious of how I'm saying things, and because I said he could have played better records. I mean, like, I didn't play good records. You know, like when you play, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name, and then went into the club version of it.
Right.
It just confused me a little bit.
Why are you playing that version?
Because I'm a fan, right? Like if I do a versus with you, I'm a fan of yours. I respect you if I'm gonna do a versus with you, which I'll do a versus with any producer, right? Because that's the art of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? It is accepting the challenge and just having fun. You're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some, right? And that's why I try to tell people, like, yo, this is the sport of music. Like hip hop started as a rebellious, competitive sport. Like you was in the park and somebody was gonna go home with the trophy, and somebody was gonna go home and know that they need a little bit more work, and then spend the block back.
Or they made a bad play on that day. That's it. It
Yo,
happens all the time.
Swizz versus Just is, first of all, you held the camera for 2 hours and 40 minutes. Second of all, it's on the Hot 97 YouTube channel.
Right, because we live streamed.
You live streamed it on Hot 97
Because I called the...
this is pre-IG Live. There was no IG Live.
I called Mike Fox, who was head of our digital at the time. Yeah. And I was like, bro, you think you could get the YouTube thing live from my phone right now?
See, he was thinking.
It has 1.6 million views on there, and it's 2 hours and 40 minutes. It's on the Hot 97 YouTube channel. I didn't realize that.
That's crazy.
History.
Yo, man. So you own the Verzuz name still.
Yeah.
That whole thing that you went in with that business deal, double back, and it's still yours.
Yes.
What happens now?
Everything. And you know, the universe is amazing because I feel that we needed this break. I feel that we needed this time. You know, like you got to remember, Verzuz started, well, you do remember, we all remember, but Verzuz really kicked off at a time where people was in need when this pandemic just snuffed us. And we worked through that whole thing, you know, to give people the comfort and to give the artists also a way to get their creativity out there and the music in front of people. And we never stopped to take time to really understand what we have, what we've built. Although all of the press releases came out of all of those things, me and Tim never took those things and like, yo, like, they said that if you're not a certain age, you can't stream. Okay, well, the Ozzy Brothers stream is up 700%. You understand? Earth, Wind, and Fire is up 700%.
SWV
got a TV show. Y'all seen Ashanti ever since, every day. Right. Y'all seen Ja every day. Y'all seen people, you know, actually something that's really connecting.
People discovered Jadakiss and the Locks.
Yeah. Yes.
There was people who didn't even understand what they were.
Like Kiss finally got his flowers to who he really is from Verzuz. And everybody, and when I look, and you look at all of these things that's for creatives, it doesn't have this type of give back that you could feel as an artist for sure. You could hold up a trophy, go home, put it on your dresser. But I'm talking about your phone going crazy. You're on tour for 2 years now straight, or that business deal that you want to do happen. And so, you know, we couldn't treat this like something from our basement anymore. You know, so now the way that we're coming back is going to be, you know, it got to represent. The numbers are too big to play around small. So, you know, we're treating it like UFC. We're treating it like, you know, a network for real. And I think the people are going to be happy with what we're going to put in front of them. Some things are going to change. Some things they're not going to like because normally people don't like change.
Well, it's because you said it's gotten so big, it'll never feel like those days where we was watching Beanie Man and it was Beanie and Bounty, right? Beanie and Bounty in Jamaica when the police walked in.
Oh my
God.
God.
And we're still live. We're like, yo, the police just came.
That was so crazy. One of the best ones, too.
But you know, we've been filming Verzuz. We've been filming the documentary the whole time.
Say word.
Yes, with Lena Wave, been shooting it.
What?
Yeah, Amazon is when people see this one, because it gets to like the real, like you get to see all of the things that was happening. You get to see what was happening, because we never said what was happening because we know we was recording what was happening. So when you seen people just sitting there and not starting, the shit that's really happening.
It's all being filmed, right?
Why they're not starting?
It's all there.
Oh my God. It's going to all make sense.
Wow.
And people going to bug out because they was a part of the movie.
Right.
But they didn't have access to the other room.
Right.
You understand? Like they didn't have like, so imagine it's like, okay, we're in here, but they out there scrapping. And you like, you trying to keep, you got 6 million people looking at you, so you just got to sit here like this. Hell breaking loose over there. And then, our culture is special. We are.
Yo, don't nobody act funny when it's time to put this documentary out. This is for the people, man.
Now,
don't nobody act funny,
everybody
man.
signed off.
Yeah, man. Don't nobody
signed
act
off.
funny, man. This shit is like, hopefully people in this 50 years of hip hop and just us commemorating and giving people flowers, losing people that we love, not ever getting an opportunity to document certain things and just really leave a legacy, for better or for worse, a map of what actually took place from our experience.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not an outsider's experience, from our actual experience. Like, man, we love you, Swizz.
Love you guys, too. Thank you.
Swizz. Yo, go get that Hip Hop 50 Volume 2. It's on all streaming services, but you know we rock with Apple Music. Shout to Mass Appeal and Nas, Peter Bitterbender, and everybody over there.
Grady Spivey, Monique Blake.
Mo, Grady.
Za.
And Alicia, thank you for making sure he gets some sleep.
Please. There you go. Thank you.